looking for bright ideas. Even here at TEDx, we are looking for ideas to spread. And but is it good or brilliant or really a great idea enough? Or do you need something else? So our next speaker would talk about these ideas. Let's see. Did that?
Do you know what is a great idea? The one that actually happens is. Today, I'm going to ask you 3 questions and give you 1 answer. In return, I would like to participate interactively and give your honest feedback. So let's hit it. Question number 1. Who has or ever had a great idea here? Raise your hands if you have an idea. Okay? You have it? My people. Do you think that all you need is this great idea? No. Idea by itself means shit. As Bill Gross put it in his TED Talk, it's about 1% idea and 99% execution and timing. Entrepreneurs are dreamers. They have this sense that how they want to see the future, and more importantly, they act upon it. Whatever that is, they decide that they are willing to do that. And that's the point. When you have a dream, you know what you want to do, and you are willing to do it. So how are you going to execute on your dream? Entrepreneurs are perceptive. That means that they look for opportunities under the rocks. And once they found that opportunity, they will do it. They will do whatever it takes to make it happen. This is what the guy who founded the 4 Dummies book series, you know these books, these yellow booklets which simplifies really complex issues? Where did he get his idea from? He was lingering around the bookstore, and then a lady rushed into the counter and she said that, okay, I need a book on computer sciences, but I have no clue about technology, I'm stupid, so I need a book for dummies. This guy overhears it, and then there's the idea, there's the opportunity. And from this small idea, he made a global and profitable business. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's about innovating. So where does an idea come from? I can tell you where it's not coming from. You sitting at home and finishing your new shiny bright logo and wondering about when you're gonna become the next Richard Branson or the next Steve Jobs. I also had an idea. I think my clicker is not working. But maybe I just don't need it. So I also had an idea. How many of you heard about Lightroll? It was called Lightroll. Have you heard about it? You heard about it. What it is?
It's a camera that you focus like after you take a picture.
Not at all. I wish it was that. No. Okay. Does it work? Thanks. Lightroll, except this guy. No one could hear about it because I have not executed on it. So here is the idea. You know, we are on Facebook and we like photos, videos, posts. And last year I was here at Sziget Festival and some friends of mine posted cool photos and I remember that I liked them. And I wanted to check it out, but it was really hard to search for it. So I wanted to create a dashboard where I could like type in the photos that I was taken on Sziget Festival last year and I liked them, like a bookmarking tool. But I never did it. So a few years later, I had this idea like, I don't know, 3 years ago, and I think it was 1 or 2 years ago, Facebook did it. It was called Graph Search, and I'm sure that everybody here uses it who is on Facebook. It's the search bar on top of Facebook, and you can literally type in photos that were taken at Sziget Festival last year, and I liked it, or things like that. It feels really good for my idea though, that this happened, that Facebook did what I had in mind. But just imagine if I could execute it, if I did execute it, maybe Facebook would have bought it, or I could make something bigger. But I did shit. I didn't execute at all. So, as I said, idea by itself means shit. So, it's not working again. Maybe I'm using it wrong. Okay, but that was of the last side. So yeah, idea means shit. So do and execute. Question number 2. Who hasn't told their idea to anyone? I know that there are IPs and NDAs and you have to protect your idea. So whoever raised their hands that has an idea, who hasn't told it to everybody because they need to protect it? You need to protect your idea. Okay, you didn't. Just your hands, okay. So, if you think that your idea is all you need and you need to protect it, that's not how entrepreneurship works. And that's the point about it. Do you remember back in high school and elementary school that when we had a test or exam and there were these kids eagerly writing the test and covering it with their hands so no one could see it? Entrepreneurship is not like that. You need to be open about it. As I thought about it, entrepreneurs are dreamers. And I really hope that you have dreams as well. But if you do, how can you not talk about your passion? Passion, this is the most important P out of all. Passion is the thing that drives you to make your idea, your dream happen. If you don't have it, you don't have the force, the fire in yourself to go and execute it. So there was this guy, his name is Tim Ferriss. He's a New York Times best-selling author. And he was writing this book on how to win and happy life, like really good practical advice is like how to live your life. And he had the book, but he had a hard time to find out what kind of title to use on the book. Did he keep it to himself? Not at all. What he did was, he created a landing page where he described what the book was about. By the way, it was there, whoever read it, there's the idea. If you want to go and execute it, do it. He didn't care about it. No one else wrote a book like that. So he created these landing pages. All he changed in the different versions that he had was the title. He created Facebook ads, Google advertisement, and he was checking that for what title was the best conversion, where did the most people click, and he chose the one with the best conversion. The book is called The 4-Hour Workweek. If you haven't read it, or if you haven't heard about it, read it. The 4-Hour Workweek. It's a life changer. I just love it. So the concept what Tim Ferriss did that made it really good is about failing fast, failing forward, and moving on. That's the whole basic of the lean methodology. This is something similar that I did with one of my ventures. So we created a product. We thought that our value that we could provide was for brands. Sooner did we find out that actually the most beneficial thing that we were doing was not for brands, but for publishers and e-commerce companies. We couldn't have found it out if we haven't talked about it, if we haven't started selling it even before the product was ready. And that's the most important point. We went out, we spread the word, we asked for feedbacks, and this is how we could figure out that we needed a shift. So whatever you have in mind, my idea and suggestion to you is to spread the word, ask feedbacks, learn, and then you can go and execute it. So let's move to question number 3. What did you do last week to make your idea happen? But even better, what have you done today to make it happen? Except partying, maybe that's what you need here. That's what you need. Whether you think you can or cannot, you're right. Do you think that entrepreneurs, these crazy people, are just born, not made? That they are insane risk takers, that they do things, that they just get lucky? That's wrong. That's not how it works. There's one of my favorite TV shows. It's called Suits, and the lead character is Harvey Specter, and he has a quote. I really love it. It goes like this: I don't get lucky. I make make my own luck. I think it pretty much sums it up how we should look at this phenomenon called luck. Harvey Specter, in this TV show, he is this hotshot, A-player, best lawyer in New York City. Do you think that he was born this way, that he's just lucky or something like that? Not at all. He was training and then he failed, he learned from it. Then he were doing and moving forward and doing things that others didn't have the guts to do. He did all those things because he had a vision. He knew what he wanted to become and he just did it. He was pointed, sharp focus, and he knew what he had in mind and he just did it. And when you know what you are doing, it's not risk. Entrepreneurs are doers. Once they decide to act upon something, they just do it. Even if they fail. I mean, Peter here is one of the best examples. You do it, you see it, and whatever you need to do, you iterate. And that's all about it. You do it. And when you are doing it, you need to persist. That means that you have this ability that after any setbacks, you can get back on your feet. It's not about how many times you fail, but how many times you can stand up. And you only need one more time to stand up, and then you can do it. The next thing is that you need to have this sharp focus. You need to have pointed. Some people see that it's like a narrow-minded thinking because you are focusing on only one thing. But actually, what I see is that you are goal-oriented and thinking ahead. This is what one of my greatest inspiration is doing. He's called Michael Jordan here. And as you know, he's the greatest basketball player of all time. He wanted to become that because he loved every minute and every sweat of the game. But he didn't even get into his high school team for first attempt. I will tell this quote. This is the quote that he has. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. It's pretty serious. So back in high school, when he didn't get into the team, all he needed to do in that year is to dribble the ball in the morning from home to school and after school back home and practice a lot. And in the second year, he got in and the rest is history. I also have had a dream. Actually, I had a lot of dreams and I have a huge bucket list. But with this particular dream, I wanted to create a software. I wanted to create a software out of the service that we were doing. The problem was that I had this dream for like 7 or 8 years now, and back then, I didn't have the experience, the knowledge, I didn't have the money, the team, but I had this idea. So what I did was, I started reading books, following blogs, watching TED Talks, and then I reached out to people, professionals who were on the field and actually were doing something similar. And I asked them how they were doing that, what should I do, what are the steps that I need to follow. And some of these people become my mentors. Others I could work with, I could work for them. And gaining the experience that I needed to have, I was able to get my own clients. And then I got my own clients and we were delivering results. I could experience really fast that what was working and what not. As a consultant, I was providing this as a service. Then I was able to do some presentations, I was able to go to conferences, I was writing blog posts. And in a 3 or 4 years time, I had spared some money in my venture to fund this other dream to create a software. By the way, there is this quote that it was something like that. It took me 5 years to become an overnight success. And it pretty much reminds me to this because what happens was that once we created this software and we had the team, which was a really big hustle to gather the team. Once we had it and we created the software, we started selling it, but no one bought it. Even though that we had tons of interviews, I mean the interviews we had. But we had a really hard time selling it, but we kept selling it. Then we made some sales. We got the feedbacks from everybody. Then we figured that it's not the right spot to be. We were from Budapest, and Budapest is not the right spot, so we figured we have to go abroad. The problem was, okay, where should we go? So we applied to programs and accelerators. We didn't get in, but we kept applying, still didn't get in. Kept applying, searching for what's the right fit, and then we got into a German accelerator. We went there, it was a really great 3-month experience. We learned a lot about our own product and how to find the fit with the market. We could make some sales, we learned about it, and now we got into another program. And the whole journey is about that. And we are right about the start. We are spreading our wings and we will see where we will go. Did we have ups and downs? Hell yeah, but no art was created out of happiness. But still, we had to learn, I had to learn how to find happiness. And I could manage to do that, like every day with small things. The answer that I promised to give to you is one word: routines. By forming cool routines, as cliche as it sounds, you can achieve anything. You just have to be really careful that what kind of routines you're gonna form. You have to form routines that pleasures you. Because at the end of the day, entrepreneurs seek for some sort of reward for their achievement. May it be any material goods or higher thing, but something that they should reward themselves with. I use this thing called temptation building because I'm from the lazy ones. I love to procrastinate. So I have to get the routines and get myself motivated. So, for example, if I have to meet up with a friend or I want to watch my favorite TV show, I only let myself to do it if I went to the gym. So this way, I will not only enjoy and work harder at the gym, but when I meet with that friend of mine, I will be in that very moment and I feel that that's a reward that I could get. So it's all about, again, forming the right routines. If you can form cool and fun habits and routines, you will not need to work hard. It will be about working smart and enjoying the hell out of the ride. So with that, thank you very much for listening to me.
I really got some problems. I got a problem with one point. It's making your own luck or being lucky. I know probably you know Douglas Adams and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So Douglas Adams said that he used to follow people riding cars because they seem to know where they are going. For example, here at SIGA, I used to follow people who seem they are going somewhere because they might take me to very brilliant places I would never go alone. So what do you think, being spontaneous or making your own luck?
As I was listening to you, I love quotes, and I remembered Henry Ford said that if he asked people what they wanted back then, like 100 years ago or more than 100 years ago, they would reply that they need faster horses. So like following people, I mean, if you are wasted at Siget Festival and you don't care, it's a good thing, but I think you really need to have your own sharp vision and where you want to go and what's the shortcut. I'm sure that there's always a way to do it, but you need to find it. Other people can inspire you, you can get some ideas there, but it's your decision how you're going to execute.
Okay, thank you. So, anyone questions to Peter? Well, if not, oh yeah, okay.
Maybe it's not a real question, but a lot of times when a successful entrepreneur you read about, and you read about that he had an idea and he just kept going, everybody was telling that it is stupid and it wasn't working, but just kept going and finally succeeded. But 99 other ventures going similar but fail. And when do you know that you have to go the same way where you started, or when do you know when you have to change? It just, that's, no?
right before I came here, I was at a Hungarian startup stand. It's like 100 meters away. It's called Balabit. It's like a bigger organization. They just closed a $50 million venture capital round, like Series C or something, crazy amount. And I was talking with the people there, and they told me that they had a hustle with the due diligence. There were other before they got the investment, there were other venture capitals who turned them down because it was a niche and very narrow market and they didn't see the fit. There is another story. As we found out, everybody heard about Airbnb. And I think it was like a month ago, the founder of Airbnb created a blog post. It's hilarious. He posted all the rejection letters that he got from the VCs why they didn't invest in Airbnb. So just the statistics about Airbnb, by now they have more reservations than the Hilton hotel chain has worldwide. And the letters were like, yeah, travel industry is not that big. Yeah, we understand, but the sharing economy is not that good. It's not a big thing. So I think it's not a good or bad thing. It's about the people, like what people think. It's not about companies, what companies do, but how people think about it. And for some people it will be a fit, for some don't. And you have to feel for yourself that when you want to shift. With Peter, he could have, I think, go on with Greenflow for years. Maybe he could get some other venture funding, but he decided to go somewhere else. I don't know if I can answer your question.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
So,